Hi, Jeff Koppel again, realtor and general contractor. Thought I'd just go ahead and leave my contractor hat on a little bit because I thought today I would talk to you about on-site sewer treatment systems, or commonly referred to as septic system. There's two major types of septic systems, and then there's tons of variants off of these major types, but I thought I would show you some images of the two major types today and the advantages, disadvantages of each. So anyway, let's start by sharing my screen here. So here is the conventional leach field system. You can see over here in the house, here we have brown water, which comes out of sinks and showers. And in this case, clothes washing machines and dishwashing machines, kitchen sink, that kind of thing. And then we also have black water that comes out of the house, which is toilets. All that drain basically flows into a septic tank. And in this case, this septic tank is actually divided into a couple of compartments. All the solids would typically be over on this side of the septic tank, and the overflow brown water would be on this side of the tank. And it's usually separated by a divider in here. Now, this brown water flows out of the septic tank through this non-perforated Schedule 40 4-inch PVC pipe, or 3 or 4-inch, and then it gets this distribution box that divides that water into these separate leach lines. Now, this pipe's perforated. In other words, it has holes in the bottom of it so that this water can run out into these prepared valleys here. And basically, the way you lay this out is you put a different size aggregate underneath the pipe, or gravel, typically larger and then smaller as you get up closer to the pipe. And then you cover it. Back in the old days, we used to cover these with straw and then dirt. Nowadays, they generally use like a landscaping fabric, or a lot of times these perforated pipe come pre-wrapped in a fabric. So anyway, that's the conventional system. And let's take a look at now an aerobic system. So here is an aerobic system. And as you can see here, you've got the main tank coming out of the house. Now, just for clarity, they've broken this out into the separate tanks. Typically, in an aerobic system, you'll have one big tank that'll have 3 different compartments in it. But they're just for simplicity and illustration purposes, they're putting it in 3 different tanks. So what we've got is the first tank that comes out of the home, and that catches the solids here in the tank. Bacteria is already starting to work on it here. And then the brown water flows over into this aerobic treatment unit. And this is where air is introduced to the bacteria, which helps the bacteria grow faster, break it down a little bit quicker. So it just separates a little bit more solid out of it. And so then the semi-treated water goes through a chlorinator to treat it a little bit more in preparation for it to flow to the pump tank. Now, this tank is going to have a pump in it that is operated by a float. As water gets up to a certain level in the tank, the pump kicks on. And in this case, it's ejecting that treated water out through spray heads. So if your system or your neighbor's system is starting to smell a little bit too much like sewer, more likely there's something wrong with the chlorinator. Either it's partially clogged or chlorine tablets haven't been put in a while. So anyway, that is the two major systems that are out there. And of course, like I said before, there's all kinds of variants. The kind of system that you'll put into your property will depend on a number of factors. Probably the key factor is whether or not the property percolates. In other words, what they'll do, a sanitarian will come out and do a test of the property, and they'll normally fill a container, and that container has to drain into the soil within a certain amount of time. If it doesn't pass the percolation test, then you're probably going to be limited to putting in an aerobic system or some variant of aerobic system. In terms of cost of maintenance and continuing maintenance, a conventional leach field system is definitely less expensive, a lot less maintenance. Basically, with that system, you just pump the solids tank about once every 10 to 15 years. That's really the only maintenance that you're looking at, as long as you don't park heavy things over the leach field, that kind of thing. But an aerator or an aerobic system, you're going to be looking at replacing aerator and pump tank pumps on a regular basis. So there's definitely going to be some costs associated with that, as well as with an aerobic system, you've got a state mandated uh, a servicing contract with a company that comes out and makes sure that the system stays in good operating order, fills chlorine tablets, all those things. So there's an ongoing maintenance cost with an aerobic system as well. So anyway, I hope that kind of clears up some of the questions that you may have had about on-site sewer treatment systems or septic systems. And me as your realtor, I can definitely help you locate that ideal property to put your dream home on. And I can also help you get in touch with contractors in the area of your lot to help you spec out and install a septic system once you get your house plans all figured out and where you want to put the house. So hopefully this has helped you guys today understand septic systems a little bit more. And again, love to help you out as your realtor, locate that perfect piece of property. And as always, if you have any questions for me or anything you would like to see a video on, please send your emails to jeffkoppel@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to make a video on anything realtor or general contractor related. You guys have a good day.